So yeah, and then there was the custom title. I think you really summed it up when you mentioned, because I was watching that. No, I was watching it here on my smaller screen. I wasn't watching on the big screen. I suspect if I were to play it back even on the big screen, it would look as underwhelming as it did on the small screen.
Yeah, because they unveiled it, and I was expecting something drastically different, and I didn't notice anything that different. And then they got a close up on it, and then he mentioned that it was a Burberry pattern. You can kind of make it out. Granted, I was watching on my larger monitor here.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I was watching it on the vivid brilliance of my plasma out in the other room.
Yes. Hey, those plasmas hold up, don't they?
They do, and the picture is still great.
There you go.
People talked all sorts of crap about me because I didn't buy a new TV. Instead, I got my piano moved out of storage.
We like to tease.
I made a great call. My TV is great anyways. Yeah, it just did. I don't know, unless it just didn't really pop. Nothing about it really popped.
No, but dude?
It's a good idea, but if I don't know, it just seems like if unless it's like, hey, from like across, you're in the nosebleeds of the arena, you should be able to see that Burberry pattern on the belt.
No title has ever been better. You know what the greatest title in the history of WWE is, or history of pro wrestling was been? Gold Intercontinental Championship.
Oh yeah, with the gold strap on it.
The gold strap. Oh my God. That thing does not get the appreciation it truly deserves, because it was gorgeous.
It was awesome. Yeah.
And that's honestly, like, if MJF wants to think that he's, something special, he's better than all us. And then, especially these days with gold being like the one commodity that's still valuable, the one precious metal that's still valuable. Oh man, pure gold.
Yeah, but even the Burberry pattern is a good idea. I just don't know how.
I'm so sick of that. It's funny. We were joking about this before the show went live, and you had it right, man. Because I'm like, you know what? AEW in a way has so devalued the Burberry thing to me, because like, it's one thing if I'm walking out and about and like my sister, for example, my sister's in the world of high finance, right? She knows what rich people wear, right? And so if she saw someone be like, hey, he's got a Burberry scarf, he at least has some money, then I'd be like, oh, I'm impressed.
$520 to buy a scarf. Yes.
Right. On the other hand, when I see some sweaty dudes in the AEW crowd with some like a faded Brian Cage t-shirt wearing a fake Burberry scarf, because you mentioned I was like, well, okay, so what is the deal with the fans in AEW? Because I know they're not plunking down $500 for a Burberry scarf. But no, you're like, you can get $11 on Amazon, you get an invitation. So, like, you see somebody with a faded Brian Cage shirt wearing a Burberry scarf, I'm sorry, it devalues your brand. Burberry, I've got bad news for you. I don't even know where I was heading with that. Oh, yeah, the belt. Yeah, even if it had a Burberry, even if it was bright as day, I'd still be like, I can get that for $11 off Amazon.
Or the eventual replica title that you'll be able to buy at Target, because MJF is having that belt for probably about a year.
I'm still not entirely sure how... Like, would they be able to sell a replica title with a Burberry pattern?
Not. Maybe
can they make a fake one? Where's the trademark line there?
Maybe I'll put this out there. So I'm guessing MJF has the real Burberry scarf. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they really didn't go all in with the Burberry pattern on the belt for that reason, because that might be trademark pattern. Without working some sort of deal out, they could use it on the belt. So they just kind of did like, I don't know, kind of like a faded, kind of more like pure, because it looked like it was like purely earth tones.
That sounds like a Paul Heyman thing back in ECW. We would play Metallica but in the background, because you could legally do that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Tony Khan, it wouldn't surprise me if he like, cut some sort of deal or something with Burberry. Can we use your silly pattern?
Or maybe tried and they couldn't come to terms. So he's like, all right, I'll just use a similar looking pattern without using the same color palette.
Yeah, that could be.
I didn't see any red.
Hey, let me ask you this. Do you think before MJF got his big pay hike, he only had one, and now he's got a couple? Do you think he got more of them? You think he just had one in the first place? He had one in the first place, huh?
Maybe two. Maybe two. You should always, if it's such an important part of his presentation, you should have a backup.
Yeah, one mustard stain. He's like, I'm fucked.
Well, take it to the dry cleaner, I suppose.
I'm sure he's doing great now, though, man.
Yeah, I'm sure he can buy plenty of them. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't pop, and I'm joking when I said it looked like it had been out in the sun and faded, but there was no pop to it. It was all earth tones, but maybe that was intentional because they didn't want to run afoul of any sort of intellectual property law. I don't know.
I like the idea, though. I like the idea. This is the first time AEW, the world titles had a custom one. I love my favorite AEW title, Scorpio Sky's Laker Color.
That was great.
TNT title. That was amazing.
Miro's TNT title was pretty awesome, too.
That was beautiful as well, yeah. Yeah, but that purple and gold, ooh boy,
that was great. Yeah.
That looked amazing. So yeah, I'm down with the custom titles. I think that shit's pretty cool.
Same.
So I'm good with that because I think, like you said, I think he's gonna have that title for a while.